There is, as we noted, a new undercover video out tonight from Project Veritas that exposes new links between the Clinton, or at least links we didn't know about, between the Clinton campaign and outside groups causing trouble at Trump events. And somehow Donald Duck is involved. Fox News Chief Washington correspondent James Rose is here. James?
This is nothing to quack at, Brit. Tonight's revelations come once again from Bob Creamer. He is the veteran Democratic consultant whose contract with the Democratic National Committee was severed last week following the release of two earlier undercover sting videos from this same conservative group, Project Veritas Action. It also emerged last week that Creamer, a felon who served time for tax violations and bank fraud, has visited the Obama White House 342 times. Close to an average of once a week over the last 8 years. Now Creamer can be seen discussing the Donald Duck's operation, in which costumed figures resembling the Disney character, as captured by Fox News cameras at various events, popped up this summer at rallies for Donald Trump, outside a hotel of his, harassing surrogates, at all turns chastising the GOP nominee for ducking the release of his tax returns. In the latest Veritas video, Creamer identifies the purported mastermind of the Duck's operation.
In the end, it was the candidate, Hillary Clinton, the future president of the United States, who wanted ducks on the ground. So if I got people give ducks on the ground.
So it's, wow.
Don't repeat that to anybody.
Don't repeat that to anybody. One Democratic operative working with Creamer was a man named Scott Foval, who was fired as field director for the progressive group Americans United for Change last week, also as a result of statements he made in the first two Project Veritas videos. In the latest one, Foval suggests the ducks were also intended to advance a separate goal of inciting violence.
It's about intent.
Not the duck itself.
No.
Okay. Because that's the only.
It's not a reaction to the duck call and the signs.
Okay.
Because once they pull out these signs, Trump supporters literally start throwing punches at people.
Creamer in the latest video also alleges that Donna Brazile, now interim chair of the DNC, intervened to get the Ducks project moved out of the committee and over to Americans United for Change because she feared trademark trouble from ABC Disney, which controls the Donald Duck character. Neither the Clinton campaign nor the DNC responded to our request for comment. However, in response to last week's videos, both the campaign and the committee accused Veritas, Brit, of selective editing in its past work.
Well, if the editing was so very selective in this case, you don't think those two guys would have been let go, do you?
There appears to be some there, as
Absolutely.
they say.
James, thanks so very much. The Clinton campaign has tried to paint Bob Creamer, one of the Democratic operatives in the video, as a peripheral figure, but there is, as James has noted, evidence suggesting he was certainly more than that. Our nightly political panel is here. Guy Benson, political editor at townhall.com, and Susan Ferricchio, chief congressional correspondent for the Washington Examiner. Guy, your thoughts about this and what it tells us. I mean, it's a little hard to get too worked up about something that deeply involves Donald Duck, but I guess, you know, this is where this bizarre campaign has taken us.
It's 2016, Brit, so of course we're discussing Donald Duck. This is very important. The underlying issue is, was there a crime here? Was this a violation of federal law, which there may have been? I think we need more info on that, but it certainly doesn't look good on the tape.
Which law would that be?
Well, the coordination, how you have outside groups being not allowed under federal election law to coordinate with the campaign, and if this is Hillary Clinton, clearly the campaign, the embodiment of the campaign, directing outside groups to do things, that's not permitted. So that's the legal issue at stake. And then there is the secondary issue of this guy Creamer, who's now gone, and you make the correct, he and Foval are both gone. So if this was totally selectively edited, they seem to fall on their swords or get fired awfully quickly. He was at the White House, as James just reported, roughly once per week over the course of the Obama administration.
Right.
Yeah, that is really interesting, even for the husband of a congresswoman.
We should mention what the White House says about that is that he was, first of all, the husband of Democratic Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky from Chicago, and that he would therefore be cleared to come to the White House as a spouse of a sitting member of Congress, and that the events or the occasions of his visits were large events in which a lot of people were present. That seems a little difficult to imagine that there could be so many large events to add up to 342 visits, and we know there were some 40-some at which the president was present. So the question arises, you know, is it a plausible explanation that he was there and he really wasn't involved with the White House at all? What do you think, Susan?
Not for all those visits. You know, if he'd only been there 10 times or what, because remember, we go through those White House logs back when there was a question about how often the IRS commissioner was visiting. And That's a lot of visits to just be there as the spouse of a congressperson, or the Easter egg roll, or whatever else they come up with. Clearly, there was something else going on there where he was doing business in the White House.
Yeah, and if you think of the number 342, I mean, that's almost a one whole year's worth of visits to the White House. That's a lot of visits.
Let's not pretend that he's an average run-of-the-mill spouse of a member of Congress either. He is a well-known, long-established hatchet man for the Democratic Party. He is a practitioner of dirty tricks. That's what he did. He went to prison at one point for unrelated fraud. This isn't just an average guy who might be married to a Democrat from Chicago. You're at the White House 342 times for a reason, and as Susan says, it's not just the Easter egg roll.
That's where it's
and he's been fired. If that kind of says it all. Yeah. If they didn't want him on the campaign anymore.
Well, the convict doesn't look too great either. So
bank fraud.
Thanks to both of you. Stay with us.